and ask ourselves, in the land of our language, which is how we communicate, it's everything, where does it really come from? Because this is what we're using to do everything with. So are we sure we understand not only where it came from, but also what it means? So the answer is, of course, for most people, no. With the language, they're just using it. They don't understand all 7,000 languages that were delivered onto this planet were all extraterrestrial. The only only languages that we've ever constructed on our own have been the languages that we gave to computers. Basic, Fortran, COBOL, etc. All the other languages, Arabic, Hebrew, all that, extraterrestrial languages. So how it comes out with English is that, or English as I call it, is that people only understand it from the level of how they're speaking it, but they don't understand where it came from and what it means. And so where we have to move to is we have to move to phonetics, which happens to be named by the Phoenicians, and their symbol is the phoenix, and they were also known as the Canaanites. So this means the Canaanites' language is what we're using now. And what was their god? The bull. The bull was what they know as Cain. Moloch means Cain, or king, or Khan, or Cohen, or priest. All these words were the same thing. So what we're actually dealing with here in our megastructure is that there is, for better lack of words, a minotaur in the middle of the maze. Mm-hmm. Now notice how many Ma words you'll see that begin with Ma. We got matrix, now we got maze, we got man, we got male, we got masculine. Now the interesting part about this is that if I'm talking about a woman, which is Ma is supposed to be the opposite of the male sex, why am I have so many female words to describe this person? This is why when people start to examine the language, they'll get the truth to everything. Because what happens is that you can't just go to a race of people anywhere and say, hey, you guys are going to use this language now, and you're going to forget your old one. That never happens. What happens is they say, here's what the words mean now. And then people say, yeah, okay, this is what the word or the vibration or the sound means. And so thus they guide the energy. So if I show you a bull and you're under certain levels of programming, you may think of the devil, the horn god, and evil. But if you have no programming, when you see the bull, you just say, oh, that the forces of nature. Because how this worked out is the moon. Now you see that crescent moon? Mm-hmm. The symbol of also horns, because now there's an extraterrestrial component. This is where the extraterrestrial component begins. That somehow the ancients keep saying on the moon, there's something on the moon. And all of this spirituality that you're seeing, all of these stars and these pentagrams and these crescent moons and these symbols that these people are using, start with the moon. This is kind of what the ancients are saying with the symbolism. So when you go deep into it, you find out that, first of all, any religion that uses the moon, maybe the adherents don't know what's going on, but the people on top, they know what's going on. The angel Gabriel, which is the angel of the moon, delivered all of these religions according to their books. Mm-hmm. In Islam, the angel Jibril comes to Muhammad and gives him the inspiration to write the Quran. In Christianity, the angel Jibril comes and tells Mary, basically, I'm sure that was where the Immaculate Conception took place, gives Mary the moon child, basically, and then tells her, hey, you're about to bring forth this child, according to their books.
Okay. So
now what we're dealing with here is that we have to conquer this bull. This is why in Texas, which they know all about, their currency for a long time was still cattle herding. Mm-hmm. That in W. Bush the W is a horn, an M is a horn.
There you go. I always suspected there was something up there.
There's something up there, of course. It's the Lone Star, meaning the only pentagram. Now, let me explain to you the origins of the pentagram, because according to how they teach us in school, some lady developed the pentagram because we made a 4-pointed star, and then she made a 5-pointed one and said it looks better. This is what they tell us in school of how we got pentagram, how the design of the pentagram got on our flag. Why such a big lie? It's because the pentagram was known as a Brak, who's also Barak. It's the 5-pointed star was the symbol of the Sumerians. It was known as the plow sign, meaning that they were coming to domesticate. The command that was given to them from Orion was to come here and get this place prepared for the gold. That was the original translation. The gold is the souls. So what we have here is, how do you think we got to this point in the world now? Like, I'm sitting in a house, I have a computer, I have all sorts of stuff hanging around. How did we get to this point? Oh, domestication. None of the animalistic energies, or what they call elementals, were tame here. The bull was not tame, and the female had horns too. Bovid is the name, or uru. Mm-hmm. The female had horns too. So you can imagine, if a female cow also has horns, it's probably going to be even more dangerous than the male cow if she's in heat.
Yeah.
So,
or that time of the month.
Right out of her.
Mm-hmm.
See what I mean? So
yeah.
What we're also dealing with is that where our spirits are inside of composite bodies that have been genetically structured with all the flora and fauna and the animals that are based on this planet. But that's just our physical body. Our souls have an entirely different nature. But for people to understand, why do you think people are born with tails? People are born still with tails. People are born, even I saw a person even born with a horn. This is because this is what was bred out. Now notice when you look into Egypt, you get these beings known as Neteru. But the whole thing of the Neteru is that you see basically a human body with an animal face. So what is this saying? Oh, it's genetic modification. This is why it was called the Ark. Now notice again, the moon, when it gets in that curve, is called the Ark too. We're going to keep connecting this. So this ark to them, remember how they told Noah to build the ark? Okay, people think that it was like a regular boat. No, what this was about is that they knew impending disaster was going to come to the planet. They caused the impending disaster by bringing their planet-sized ship into this system. Now, first, this system was like a hymen, for better lack of words. It was a virgin system.
Whoa. Mm-hmm.
With the bull, who's Jupiter, into the system. This basically caused the astronomy of the system to go asunder. Like all of the clock came out of place. The planets themselves begin to basically go to war, is how they termed it, because the only planets that were going to survive after this was the ones that could take the impacts. Now, notice Saturn. Saturn is also what the hat means. With the hat with the brim on it, that's why the Jews wear it, because it's the symbol of. Mm-hmm. That's why